Hello everybody. Today we are going to be making breakfast burritos and talking about aliens. Without further ado, let's start. Alright, so to start you're going to need a tortilla, some egg substitute or eggs, a Tupperware container to put your extras in, a bowl to throw your scraps in, some salsa, there's a bowl for scraps, some baby spinach, a cutting board, tongs or a spatula, whatever you want, chef knife, pepper, onions, cooking spray, and then of course a pan to cook in. I'll write all this down. So the first thing to do with any food operation thing is just wash your hands. Like, come on. Like, we all know that it's good for you and it helps fight germs and all that stuff. And this is stuff you're putting in your mouth. So just wash your hands. I mean, come on. Like, I shouldn't even have to say this. I'm sure I don't have to. Y'all are great. So the first step, peel off the sticker. You do that with anything, not just specifically peppers. I know y'all know that. I'm just kind of talking. Alright, so I like to cut around. Ooh, first, get the claw. See? Alright, go ahead. I cut the four corners around, or four edges around the stem. It helps me miss most of the seeds and that white fibrous stuff on the inside of the peppers that isn't great to cook with. So go ahead. You still might get a little bit, but I'm about to, pick out that stuff. You can pick it out. Use your discretion. I believe in you guys. Alright, so see, there's all that white fibery crap that I took out just because it doesn't cook that well. And yeah, now we're going to go ahead and slice it. So I take each one of those sides and I slice it in half, just get a manageable portion. And then I take those, I cut off the little regular part, and then I start to julienne it, which is just a it's a cooking word for making into strips. Yeah. Alright, so with the irregular parts, you can cut them up, or you can just leave an irregular part. I would just get it a little bit smaller, just so it cooks evenly with everything else. There you go. See? It's not exact. Just have fun with it. Alright. So, now I'm going to fast forward through all this cutting, because you don't need to watch all that. I believe in you guys. So go ahead, that's what the end product should look like. Go ahead, grab that, throw it in your Tupperware container, and now onto the onion. Onion. That's how the French people say it. I don't know. So go ahead, I like to cut off the stem and the root. You can find other ways to cut onions if you don't like my method. There's more than one way to chop an onion, Life lesson. Alright, so I cut it, and then I peel off the papery layer because that stuff also does not cook very well, and it's kind of nasty, and you just don't want to eat it. So go ahead, peel it off, get it looking all nice. Look, that's a nice looking onion. Alright, so then I cut it in half so I have a flat surface to lay it down on while I cut it. And I turn it on its side, facing, I don't know, like how it is in the video. And I start slicing thin little slices, thin as I can. Make sure, note that claw. Look at that claw. Like a tiger, like a sloth. Anyways, okay, so I'm cutting it. You see that. Cut it all the way to the side. Try and keep it somewhat together as far as, don't let the slices move everywhere. So then you could bunch it back up. Look at that. Boom, all these slices right next to each other. So I'll get back, turn it the other way, grip it like a tennis ball with those tiger claws, and then start chopping them. And since onions have layers, they'll just come out kind of diced. It's nice. It's fun. Thank you, Mother Nature. Props to you. Yeah, so go ahead, cut out those onions. And the little part of the edge is kind of hard to get, so you can do that. That's not the official way to do it, but, this is a very approximate science here. So go ahead, you get those diced onions, go ahead, throw those in your Tupperware container, and then heat up your stove to about mid-heat, like a 5 out of 10. Throw your veggies, your onions, and your peppers in it, and just start tossing them around, cooking them, cooking more. I like to play with my food. I like to just stir my stuff around. Anyways. So then you make some room for your spinach. Put it on a little bit later since spinach doesn't need as much time on heat. Throw it in there, handful, whatever you want. You can put as much or as little of each ingredient as you want. You'll figure out what works for you. Onions, put as many as you want, as many peppers as you want, as much spinach as you want. And then, yeah, so here's me playing with my food. You could really, like, leave it for a little bit and come back, like, a minute later, but I just, like, I don't know, this is, like, my zen moment right here, you know, just kind of stirring hot food around in a pan. Anyway, so now's a good time to talk about, I'll put, like, a ingredient type deal. I'll link it in the description. I'll also, I don't know, I'll try and get the nutrition facts as close as I can. And the reason why you can do eggs or egg substitutes is because egg substitutes have a lot less fat in them, and they're cholesterol free. So if you want to, you know, skimp a little bit on your cholesterol and fat, that's a good way to do it. I usually like to mix one egg with however much substitute, just because real eggs taste better. And oh man, yeah, I'm not proud of this, guys. I am. Look at that yolk. That is bad. I'll get better, I promise. And then, so I put one egg in, then I pour the rest with some egg substitute. Fill it up there. You know, use as much as you want. You'll find out what works for you. You can use all eggs or all substitute, or, you know, a combination of the both. You know, it's really just like, make this yours, guys. You know. All right, so go ahead and stir it around, get it into that kind of scrambled consistency. Yeah, this is me. Just keep playing with my food. Play. You can add like butter or olive oil or just any kind of oil to it if you want to make it a little bit more, I don't know, palatable, tasty, if you will. It tastes really good by itself without the fat, but with the fat, it's yum. Okay, so eventually I should start. There I go, shaking the pan again. That really, I don't know what that even does, but I do it because it makes me feel like a real chef. Playing some games. Alright, so when you're done, when it looks done, just go ahead and turn off the stove, move it over somewhere where it can cool a bit. You can leave it in the pan, that's fine, as long as it's not like burning. If you did, then you've already messed up. So go ahead, grab a tortilla, and go get your egg, pepper, onion, spinach mixture. Throw some of that in there, just like you're making a normal burrito, but, you know, that's the meat instead of actual meat. Go ahead, get the salsa, but, alright guys, this is where I really mess up. So, I thought I was being clever by opening up a little bit, and I could just pour the salsa in. Nope, look at that. It's like cereal. It's like pouring milk in it. Ugh. See that one more time. Oh, I'm so clever. Look at me. I'm Jake. I'm smart. No. Come on, Jake. Get your life together. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just don't do that. Use a spoon. See? There we go. Spoon it in. You actually get stuff instead of just salsa drippings. Because, yeah, that kind of messed up my tortilla. But for the sake of this demonstration, just imagine I didn't do that. I'll go ahead and fold it all together. Fold it, and boom goes the dynamite. There is your burrito. I had an interesting thought the other day about ant farms. So, from the outside looking in, from a human perspective, the ant farm is a bunch of tunnels, a bunch of ants going around and doing their thing, and the tunnels look like they have somewhat of a structure, somewhat of a, I don't know, like, I don't know if there's ant interior, exterior designers, but, you know, they know what they're doing. Anyways, to the ant who's doing that, they don't see the big picture of that. They look at just all this dirt that they're digging through, which eventually makes a path. That's not to say that they don't know what they're doing, it's just to say that they don't see what we see because we're bigger and just on a different level of mental understanding. That's okay. So to the ants, they're not aware of us. You know, the ants aren't down there in the ant farm talking about, like, oh, do you see Jake out there staring at us, kind of, you know, like trying to formulate a hypothesis on why aliens exist. No, they don't do that. Like, I'm not 100% positive that they don't do that, but I'm pretty sure the ants don't talk about us, or they're not aware of us or the complexities of our life. Anyways, I digress. I was in New York last summer, and I went on top of the One World Observatory, and I looked down at the city in Lower Manhattan, and I saw all the sidewalks, all the people going about their daily duties, and there was a pattern as well. You know, the sidewalks, the streets, the crosswalks, the roads, and everything. And it was basically just an ant farm to the next exponent, to the next level, if you will. So seeing that, it made me think that who's to say that we're the final ant farm, you know? I hope this makes sense.
If I lost you, please just rewind or ask, comment. I don't know, that's it.
So anyways, we see these ants, we see that they're doing this structure, but they have no idea about us because we're so much bigger and more complex. Us, who's to say that there's not somebody either watching us or just exists, different beings on, say, a different planet that, you know, see us, that we don't have the cognitive ability of knowing or being capable of knowing or even fathoming. So, with that in mind, I think it would be arrogant to not at least consider that there could be something else in the vast expanses of the universe. There's also many other arguments, but I would also love to hear from everybody else. So let's have a good old civil conversation in the YouTube comments and talk about aliens. Alright, see you next time.